Disrespect the movie itself to restore the real movie. Hello everyone, Tykes Recap here. Today, I am going to explain The Illusion of Death, Watch Out and Take Care. Let's watch an old pipe and watch a movie. This is an extremely brain-burning suspense movie. There is a lot of content involved in it. Originally, Old Tobacco didn't want to talk about this film, but he couldn't bear the physical request of the vast number of enthusiastic fans. At the beginning of the movie, the protagonist Tony stepped on a mountain road and woke up, watching the rising sun with a fascinated smile. I don't know if you were sick or not, wearing pajamas and driving to a place, but the sun didn't rise and suddenly you were riding a bicycle. Go home. Lot to understand that you are really sick. He has a serious mental illness and sleepwalking. After listening to the three sisters at home, you didn't like to take your medicine on time. I really wanted my mother to worry about it. After dinner, my mother came to talk to Tony, but Tony ruthlessly helped my mother out and scolded her behind her back. It looks good. I guiltily took the pill of mental illness, but in the middle of the night, I understand that you were suddenly woken up by a strange sound, crawled up, stumbled, and listened to which business went out and left by yourself. On the way, you met a strange big grand rabbit, and an adult told him to tell you that there are hours, minutes, and left until the end of the world. When you leave your house, it suddenly shakes violently. It seems that something happened. Terrible thing, Tony woke up the next day at a nearby golf course to find his arm planning a doomsday world. Was the dream real last night? Tony didn't find out what happened at home until he got home. It turned out that a plane's engine fell out of the sky last night, just in time for the story of moving. You remember that Tony, in the name of the big rabbit, summoned the unspoken family to escape understanding and move you, and thus became a celebrity in school. Everyone was curious and his manager talked a lot. Just. In an English class, the teacher arranged for a new transfer student to move beside you. This transfer student is very beautiful. I understand you forgot. I didn't expect such good things to fall on you. Immediately, I felt a burst of hilarity. When I was walking my father's car, I was also absent-minded and full of thoughts about transferring students. The dying beauty was just that an old lady suddenly stood in the middle of the road and their car almost hit it. It turned out that the old lady was going to the mailbox to check the mail and saw that the old lady Tony suddenly grabbed his inexplicable book and understood that all creatures will die alone. In the evening, Tony was awakened by some fearful force into a sleepwalking state, and then, under the inducement of Big Rabbit, he smashed the school water pike with an axe and left himself in the school. They did better than me. Then the school was flooded the next day, and the students were able to take a holiday. You were very happy and ready to go home, but halfway through, you found a new transfer school dying beauty. You were being harassed, so you stepped forward to help Lingju Beauty get rid of the bad. The student harassed and escorted her home. I understand a little. When you were playing with your friends outdoors, you saw the old lady with white hair again. Although the old lady was slow, he couldn't help but check the phenomenon over and over again, as if he was waiting for some important letter. Well, there is a female teacher in the school who is a die-hard fan of a love and fear speaker. He dusts the lifeline of human beings with fear and two extremes in class, and asks students to mark the lifeline. Tony is reserved and has no one's emotions. There is no other emotion in these two kinds of people. No doubt that the female teacher is about to cry. So the female teacher sued Dong Yi to the Academic Affairs Office. Tony learned from a rabbit friend that time travel is very interesting, so he consulted the science teacher. The science teacher secretly gave you a time travel Australian art. I didn't expect the author of this book to be the old man who often stood in the middle of the road. Mrs. It turns out that the old lady was also the school's science teacher when she was young. I just don't know why it suddenly changed during the night. I left school and wrote this book. I have lived a lonely life since then. You are surprised. Wait or bring this book back, and do some serious study. The deeper you interpret it, the more Tony feels the mystery of the book. It seems to have everything that happens to you. Everything that happens to you can be found in the book. Good orbital action. People's lives seem to be controlled by an inexplicable force. Tony walked along this trajectory and found a pistol hidden nearby. In the therapist's office, the doctor tells your parents that Tony has cut off an unreal rabbit friend. The second sister seems to be making up for it. It's out of reality. Most parents feel very game, but Tony seems to be enjoying the transition between fantasy and reality. A very publicized state and openly contradicted the school's hired squatters in the large-scale lectures on the agenda, and then was taken away by the school leaders. Because of a hero saving the beauty of the plot, the beauty of Lingju became Tony's girlfriend one night. The beauties from the Frozen generation went to see a movie together and saw a big rabbit in the middle and left under the guidance of the rabbit. There was a fire in the home of the reading warder. The next day, the police found a lot of child pornography at the speaker's home and gave the speaker to Taipei. It's a pleasant surprise for you, but it's very bad news for the familiar fans of raising school girls. Teachers are die-hard fans of orators. For this reason, he decided to stay and help the orator to wash away his sins. Tony's mother was invited to lead the group and lead the children to a dance competition. Tony is under the hypnotism of a psychiatrist and all the crimes that Dr. Tofu has committed by himself. Fire clips and so on, and claim that he can build a time machine to tell the best doctor that you can stop taking medicine, and he will not touch your essence as normal. Just an agnostic who thinks there is no evidence of the existence of the mind in the world, but they do not deny the possibility of God. There is only the last day left until the end of the world. My sister suddenly told me that you were admitted to Harvard University. It happened that Halloween was coming and the rain thing decided to hold a small masquerade party with my sister. I was at the masquerade, Lingju, beautiful, and felt very sad because his mother suddenly left Tony just enter the fantasy. So he hurriedly left the masquerade party with the beauties and came to Grandma Jiolai, but what he didn't expect was that the bad students of the school were already lying here. These two bad students kidnapped him. Tony and the beauty didn't have time to take revenge for another car coming from a distance. In order to avoid the grandma standing in the middle of the road, they accidentally hit the beauty and the bad students saw it and ran away. The person who killed the beauty turned out to be it's just that your sister's boyfriend didn't expect that he would look exactly like a rabbit friend of Dynamic Fantasies in a rabbit costume. He understood that you were shot in the head and killed the mid-plate rabbit and left with Lingju Beauty. The world around them seems to be being destroyed. I know you see the end of the world coming soon and only he can save it. Watching the weird weather in the distance, Tony starts fantasizing again, and then time goes back to the night when the engine of the plane was about to fall. Tony waking up from a dream and laughing like everything that happened before was a dream. I understand. You roll over and go back to sleep with a faint smile on the corner of your mouth. Just then a huge airplane engine suddenly fell from the sky and smashed into your room, smashed you to death. The best Tony's family is mourning your tragic passing, and no one knew they were about to go through an apocalypse because they came back from the offline universe and forgot all their memories, including the beautiful neighbors. The story ends here. So Tony is the living recipient described in the book Time Travel Canoe. Yes, and the holy object is the aircraft engine that suddenly appeared. The sudden appearance of the aircraft engine caused the change of the universe of Yunfang. The prevention of the universe was static, and a rational kind was derived, ultimate destruction. According to so there needs to be someone to correct this mistakes, so you are powerful enough to be motivated to be able to see the trajectory of fate that others are about to walk. Also have the ability to summon water to destroy the school who manages the fun and set fire to famous houses and everyone around you. Rejection attempts to destroy the best mission to save girlfriend's life and save the world. By the way, Tony has traveled through time and space with the lost plane and everything is going backwards and finally back to the moment when the plane was about to fall before Tony woke up again. Feel the double waiting in the dream and the ridiculous reality of waiting for the command to the lover. In the end, the plane's engine came to Tony again as promised, and in the end, it was not immune to this accident. Many people are discussing what the last sentence before dying means to share. Whether he thinks the experience of rejection is a dream or a real eagle, he himself is more inclined to the latter because you have seen a lot of life that you have experienced, so you will finally choose. But if you choose to escape, it may be your life and your old lady. In the end, living alone every day is definitely not what you want. How do you feel before the video? Okay, this is the end of this issue. I hope everyone can quickly subscribe and follow Eagle Fight to get more classic horror movies and suspense movie recommendations. You can also follow Old Tobacco's official public account, Eagle etc., or Toshio Old Tobacco to watch movies. You recommend the most classic horror films and suspense films so that you don't have to worry about not knowing what to watch and what good films to watch.